One of the things that I love about Worship Foundations is the fact that they're looking beyond just the United States and trying to really take the message of Christ around the world. And we're doing that in a really creative way, and that's through using musicians who are committed to Christ, but who also are looking for really neat opportunities to grow and to have an international mission experience. And I think that's just tremendous. Well, one of the reasons why First Baptist Church is involved in Worship Foundations is because we believe in the vision of Worship Foundations International. We believe in college students being able, and young adults being able to have an opportunity to do something beyond what is experienced here in the United States. And I know from my life personally, one of the greatest experiences I had was going overseas after college and spending a month in a foreign country and encountering that culture and seeing how they worship God and being a part of that experience and just how that changed and transformed my life. And that's one of the reasons why I believe in it so much, is because I know the impact it had in my life. And I think our church also realizes the value of what Worship Foundations is doing, putting together these trips and putting young adults in these situations where they're going to experience God in a way that would probably be really difficult for them to encounter here in the States. And every year we're able to be a part of hosting the teams as they prepare and do their training here in Owensboro. We're able to host them, and so far we've had opportunities for them to lead in worship here in our church, and generally we also have some kind of a commissioning time where we will at least be praying for them and surrounding them, letting them know there's people here in Owensboro that care about what happens for them, happens to them, and the experience that they're going to have in international missions. One of the other things that I'm particularly interested in and have been the most involved in has been the Mentors Network. And whereas when these musicians who go overseas and have these incredible experiences, when they come back to the United States, we want to be sure that we're able to plug them in with a mentoring relationship where they can take what they've experienced in an international cultural setting, bring it back to America, and then grow what God has begun doing in their lives, and so that it's not just this one-time experience there, but it becomes a life way of a life experience of leading worship and bringing people to experience Christ in a worship setting. I really sense a desire by a lot of students, college students and young adults, to be worship pastors. Maybe they play guitar, they're a great vocalist, and they want to find expression for using that in the kingdom of God. One of the things, though, that oftentimes they lack is a strong theological understanding of what worship is all about. And I know that you can find that in an academic setting. You can go to school and you can learn about those things, but oftentimes they're not in a position to maybe want to do that at this place, or maybe in conjunction with an educational experience, they're going to be paired with a mentor who can walk with them and help them navigate this really exciting time in their life, because the pitfalls are there, but also the opportunities are there as well. And so as mentors, we want to kind of help save them in some areas in terms of what they may fall into and kind of help point them in a direction. But in the same sense, we just want to share life with them and walk with them through what God's doing in their lives and how He is going to use them to develop their skills and their giftedness and their ability to lead and to encourage other believers in worship.
One of our worship team members from our church went to Nepal, and when he returned, he was just really excited about what God was doing in his life and what God did in Nepal, and it just really gave him a new focus of ministry and what he wants to do in his life, and not just playing music, but doing it for a reason, doing it with a purpose. And it's exciting to see, and I've been in this, known Martin for many years, and Worship Foundations now for many, many years, and I've seen pretty much everyone who's involved with Worship Foundations, I've seen them come on board with Worship Foundations from all over the country. These young people who are coming in working, and it's influenced their life, and they're wanting to reach other people's lives. And it's exciting to see that. They don't just want to get a job and play music the rest of their life in a church. They want to press on and do something with that calling that God's given them. And so we're excited. We support Worship Foundations with our time and with finances. We believe that the kingdom will advance, especially in the younger generations, and that's what we're after and we want to see. I know, because I lead worship on a volunteer basis, it's very Sometimes it's intimidating. Sometimes it's frustrating when you see other worship people and there's CDs and there are all kinds of things that come out all through the bookstores and all that. And sometimes it's intimidating for worship leaders. But with this, it's something that you can do personally, even on a volunteer basis. You can volunteer and do something to impact the kingdom of God. And it's not about just putting out a CD or a tape for your worship team, but to do something with what you've got, even with your little calling you have. And I believe that's the influence that Worship Foundations is trying to do, is influence these people who are feeling discouraged. So that's what I'm excited about. Big cold grain trucks too.
I would encourage you, challenge you to support this ministry, because they are all about impacting the nations. I mean, that's straight out of Matthew 28, called to reach nations. And they're doing it through the means of music, which I think is an awesome approach. People, regardless of what nationality, I think music inspires. And so I think it's a great opportunity to have an impact across the world. I think a key word for this whole ministry is passion. They're passionate about the vision God's given them, and they're passionately pursuing fulfilling that call that God's placed on their life. And it takes you and I to partner with them to make that happen.